Welcome back to the Village Clockmaker. I'm James. Last video we made this tool holder for the cross slide. What we're doing here, if you missed the other one, is we're making one of these. This is a fusee for an English skeleton clock, and this tool here will cut this arc in the lathe. I didn't need to make a ball turner because I have never turned a ball. I don't need balls, so all I need is a tool that will cut that particular arc, and that's what this is. So we put these bolts in here to hold the cutter, and these two holes will go bolt down through into the cross slide. And this is, I'm making this whole thing out of scrap, so that's because that's all I have. But I found this piece of aluminum, which should be fine, and this is from my tool post holder. So this is the measurements that I need for the slot in the cross slide. So I measured this, got it all set up, and now we're ready to go over to the mill and mill this out. I'm not even going to cut it off. It doesn't matter how long it is. And then we'll drill these two holes, put this on top of here, mark those, and drill and tap for quarter 20s. These are quarter 20s that we're going to use. So we're getting real close here. We should be able to finish this up today. If you saw the last video, I'm sure you noticed that the camera angle was upside down and sideways and every way you can possibly make it. I'm new at this video in my machining project and my clock projects, and it never occurred to me that the camera had to be right side up. I just figured it would correct itself. But I was wrong, so I apologize for that, and I won't make that mistake again. So this time I've made a new rig, got the camera in a completely different position, and this needs to be very rough. So I've got a rough cutter in it, and I just marked it out, lined it out. I'm not doing any measuring at all. It needs to be sloppy, and the tolerances are well, there really aren't any. So So I'm fine milling this because it does give a better finish even with this roughing out cutter. One more pass and we'll be done on this side. Perfect. I'm just following the lines here. I don't, like I said, there's not much tolerance there, so. That's better. Now we'll go over the other side. Come back this direction. Just touch off here. There we go. Reset my right on the line. Maybe just a hair. Nope. You don't need to see all this, so I'll come back when it's all done. Our T-bolt is finished, and I drilled these two holes, but you don't need to see that. You've seen holes drilled before. And it doesn't matter where this goes this direction on the bolt, but it does matter if it's centered. Good. Take our center punch. Still good. Okay. Lastly, we need to drill and tap these two holes, and I think we'll be ready to start cutting brass. We got a little marks in here, but we need to that's good. FYI, if you have a mark off center and it's not quite on the hole, you can actually push it over by hitting it like this. Now those both are perfect, right on the center line, but that's a nice little trick that you can actually move that hole around a little bit when you're not dead center where you want to be. I drilled and chamfered the holes, and now we're ready to tap them 1/4 20. This is Alumitap. I don't know if you've used that before, but it works really well on aluminum. And we're using the tapping jig here just to make sure we got a nice straight line, straight hole. Now, you know what? I made an addition to this, and I raised this up. I bought this at a Cabin Fever, I guess, and it wasn't high enough for some of the jobs I needed, so I put this addition in and raised it up, and now it's too high. So I think the best thing to do is probably put something under this. What do we have? I'll find something, and we'll raise that up a little. I found a piece of 3/16 aluminum, which should work. There we go. And we're through now. just fine. Hang on just a minute. I'm going to cut this in two, this aluminum bar in two, so that I've got something holding up. That's better. It's a little more stable. I think we're almost done with this tool project, and then we can start cutting some brass in the next video. We'll put this together in a minute. Whoops. I guess I should have clamped that down, but it's too late now. There we are. Now, the moment of truth. See how well we measure those holes. To finish up our setup here, we need to do some measuring. This just comes off like that, and we need to find the center of the turning arbor, the turning center of the top slide. So if we go over here to this side, how are we going to do that? We're going to measure in millimeters. We're going to measure the diameter of this, 39.28, 39.28 divided by 2, 1964. Now we measure the distance from here to here, right? 28.58, so we got plus 28.58 is 47.70. So we turn this over. Just remember that number. I wrote it down. So it's 47.70, 47.70 from the turning center of the top slide to the outside edge of this radius. Now we need to find the center of this slot. so that when this goes in, it'll be centered both this way and this way. Okay? So that's fairly easy. You just measure it from one side to the other and divide by 2. Make your mark. I went to the fat side here. I went down here. I measured from here to here. Right? Divided by 2. And found the center here, and there's my prick punch mark right there, my witness mark. Now, when you put this in, you slide it like that. How do you know where it is this way? So I measured all this before, but you see that there's a witness mark on the tool and there's a witness mark on the slide. So you line those two up, tighten this down. Okay. Now you don't know whether you're over this center of the tool is over the turning center of the top slide. So I measured that all out at 4770 from here to here. Right? 4770. Whoa, it's way off. Here's my center witness marks. So we want to move this forward like that. Measure again. And when we get it exactly right, we're going to put another witness mark over on this side. There's one there. That's on the slide, and this is on the base right here. So all we have to do is line those two up, and line this up here in the center like that. Push this forward. That's how I build it. And we know that this center of this tool is directly over the turning center of the slide. Okay? So the only thing left now is to figure out our radius distance, which is in this case 2 1/4. So we measure from these 2 1/4 right there, and we set our cutter right there. Now we've got a 2 1/4 radius from the center of this top slide, which should work just fine. So let's take it over to the lathe and set it up, and we'll start cutting some brass. I think, well, we'll see how long this one is. We may go to the next chapter. If we do, thank you very much for watching. We're coming along on this. Please subscribe and like and share if you like, if you know somebody that likes this work. And I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.